All right. So welcome to Talk Tuesday. Sorry. So for today's agenda, I will be leading you through this introduction part and closing us out today. We'll hear from Kari and Jay with what's new at CSDE and partners. And then we have 4 districts presenting with us today. When we get to that point, I'll just check in with presenters to see if it's easier for me to share slides or if you'd like to share them yourselves. And then I'll close us out for this morning. We'll get started with just some updates from the Bureau Superintendent's Digest. So for March 3rd, that's the most recent update we have here. There's a new resource for BCBAs in schools. Fluency Matters resource, Reimagining Mathematical Learning, Professional Development for Math Educators. And that's been a topic that we've been really looking into as we've done a lot of work around science of reading to really shore up that math curricular instruction and resources. The last update there for March 3rd is that 2025 Challenge to Educational Citizenship Award Program. A couple of other updates here. Out-of-town magnet school transportation grant application is open for the spring. The Office of Policy and Management survey is there linked as well. And the student summit, the 4th student summit for the African American, Black, and Puerto Rican Latino course of historical studies, that's a course that we developed here at CERC, that is coming up as well. So definitely something to check out for students to attend. And I will turn it over to Kari for some updates.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you here today. I'm excited to have some members of our attendance advisory team with us today to share some of their incentives and success that they're having in their district. If you don't know it, we do have a state attendance advisory team with members representing different kind of cohorts of work in the districts and schools, and we're very thankful for them. We meet once a month. And they give us feedback on Talk Tuesdays. They help us with ideas and many of the things that you see here today on Talk Tuesday, or even the affinity groups that we've done in the past, have been an idea out of our attendance advisory team, and really wanted to focus today on incentives that work and how that's working in schools. And so they're going to share with you something that's really been helpful in their district. So just this morning, I sent an email to my partner in the performance office saying, do we have the February data yet? When is the February data? Can you give me an insight so that I can talk about it on Talk Tuesday today? And she said, oh, by the way, it's going to be up at 9:45. And so we're looking at this at basically the same time. And you know this because you're in the field, you're working this, you already know how March is going, but at the state level, we have a little bit of a delay. But we learned that in February, chronic absence went up to 20.2. That's about 2 points higher than it was in January, which was higher than it was in December. So this is a reflection of what's happening in our districts around attendance. If you could go to the next slide, please. Yep. Over on the right is this current school year, where on the left is last current school year. And for the first time, we are higher than we were a year ago. So at 20.2, we were at 19.2 last February. So it's a percentage point, but we have had we've been working so hard that we've had the pleasure of reducing chronic absence on a regular basis every month, pretty much. And we've been feeling a little bit of success. It's been stubborn. It's been slow, but we are starting to see a turn in the other direction to 20.2%. But we know there are things around environmental concerns, climate and culture in your communities, in your districts. Different in every district. It's different by school in a district, but there may be similarities across all of our districts. I just want to remind you that how are we communicating with families about attendance and positive, supportive ways? We are, families are dealing with individual um, um, issues and situations that we may not understand ourselves. And so, home visitors, personal phone calls, individualized contacts for students and families who may be chronically absent in February and March, who never were chronically absent before, or whose attendance has sort of started to go off track. You're going to see that there's a group of kids who we're going to see a group of kids who I can't who may have never been chronically absent before and are now chronically absent. So I encourage your district and your school attendance teams to reflect on your data, the climate and culture, the individualized situations that families are in, and to develop unique and innovative ways to support families, or even just supporting families. It doesn't have to be unique or innovative. It's one of the things I like about LEAP, the Learner Engagement Attendance Program, is it's simple. It's a relationship. It's caring. It's saying, hi, how are you? And so if you could we recognize at state level, and just wanted to share that with you as far as the data is concerned. So next slide, please. Does anyone, this is high needs versus all students or non-high needs students. And so you'll see the high needs students is much higher than it was last month. However, it is still lower than it was a year ago. So does anyone want to share or reflect their experience in their district or school that might be helpful to understanding what's happening with the chronic absence data?
I can share something that we noticed this month. When we were reviewing our data for the month of February, what we found is that our monthly chronic rate went down for most of our schools, but our yearly chronic rate went up by about 2 to 3%. So what we found in that while reviewing our data was that we had new students who had just become chronically absent. So they just hit that magic number of chronically absent. So what we're going to do is focus on those students who we still can save from becoming chronically absent for the rest of the year. So it was just an interesting trend that a lot of our schools for the month went down, but for the yearly average, it went up. So that was just something that we noticed.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
I noticed in the chat, Susan had mentioned in Stanford, we've seen an increase in absences due to illness. And certainly over the last couple of months, we've had a lot going around. That's kind of taking people out for a few days at least to recover. Sure.
I'll share the link to the LEAP trainings once I get off the unless there's someone from the LEAP hub here. There's a question in the chat for the LEAP trainings. So I wanted to share that with you. I won't go through every student group. If you haven't been on the monthly attendance dashboard, it's really helpful. You can look at it by school, by district, by student group. There's a new dashboard in EdSite Secure for those of you who use EdSite Secure. There's a new attendance dashboard there as well that will be updated later today, and you can drill all the way down to the student level in the secure dashboard. So, to Zoom. And I'm going to put a link to the monthly attendance dashboard in the chat, and so you can go to that and you can take a look at yourself. All right, so did you have some questions that you wanted to ask?
Oh, mine, they're coming up and
coming up next. Okay, so today we're going to talk about incentives and attendance programs, and we did a little research and a little a little research on this topic to share with you. And I created a fact sheet that they're going to put into, it's not fact sheet, a guidance sheet that they're going to put into, I think Elisa's going to put into the chat for you, a PDF that I put together on best practices and the research on incentives, because there's mixed research on incentives and there really is best practice, and we don't want to just say, oh, we're going to do incentives, and it's not the only thing that's going to work to bring your attendance down. It is one strategy. For instance, one of the best practices is to pair incentives with engagement efforts like mentorship, mentoring, and relationship building. So it's not a standalone. Use social and recognition-based rewards rather than relying solely on material prizes. Love recognition. Parents, invite the parents, have a monthly recognition for improved attendance. Encourage class or school-wide incentives. How many people are doing March Madness and have the brackets now for their chronic absence for classrooms competing in the brackets? Focus on growth, not just perfection. Reward improvement rather than imperfect attendance, because not everyone can have perfect attendance, and we want to be equitable for all students, regardless of their circumstances, have access to recognition. And I love this one. It reminds me of who had the pop-up dance parties, and they would say, there's a surprise coming, there's a surprise coming, the surprise is always on Friday, right? And so they come all week, and then you have a pop-up dance party. So make incentives unexpected, so they remain a pleasant surprise rather than an expectation, and be as silly as possible and as fun as possible. Make school fun. Incentives are a great way to have kids enjoy school more and want to be there. Next slide, please. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to turn it back over to Elisa.
Yep. So just a little poll of kind of what might be happening in districts. And so this is Slido. You should be able to scan the QR code or go to that website, slido.com, and enter that code underneath. As people kind of enter their ratings or enter their responses, this should show up as we go, so we can get a sense of what this looks like in districts right now. All right. So tangibles seem to be something that people are using. Recognitions has risen to the top, which I think speaks to what Kari was talking about, really that specific acknowledgement of the efforts that students are making to improve attendance. I appreciated the comments you made around, not just perfection, but improvement, and ensuring that all students have access to recognition and incentives for their efforts to be consistently in attendance, on time, and engaged. So this is, I mean, I'm happy with the kind of where this is indicating, with recognition being at the top of really celebrating, honoring, and highlighting students' achievements and growth. Tangibles, prizes, class parties, food coupons, things like that. I listed a few examples that I was seeing in some of the resources reviewing for this session. And then privilege. In my experience, the extra time or free time was a big privilege, particularly for secondary age students. So makes sense. All right. Oop. And I just had one more question, really just to generate some discussion and an alternative way to engage this morning. But really, what questions, what comments, what considerations do you have about attendance incentives? What would you like to share? Again, the QR code, or just going to that Slido and entering that code.
We have a chat happening in our, we have a discussion in our chat about wondering if districts are seeing that concerns with staff attendance are mirroring students' attendance concerns. And our teachers and staff are role models. And so that is something we've heard and we know is an important thing to address. And Latasha, thank you, has provided something that she has done with, or her district has provided incentives for staff as well in her department and from the superintendent. Latasha, would you like to provide just some ideas or some examples of what you guys have done for incentives for staff?
Sure. So I think it was after COVID, post-COVID, we noticed that our staff attendance was unfortunately just as not great as our student attendance. So my superintendent had funds set aside, and based on the staff's attendance, they can be entered into a raffle, and they were like restaurant gift cards and things like that. So my staff, my student engagement specialists, my LEAP home visitors have done the same with funding that we've gotten from community partners, and I'm sharing that a little while in my presentation, but raffling off for teachers, you know, gift baskets, gift cards and things like that. So again, it's not about teachers that are there every day. However, if your class it has improved attendance, or if your attendance has improved, you can be entered to receive incentives just like the families, just like the students. And a lot of buildings have received it very, very well and are appreciative of it. Some staff have even donated it back, but just the gesture, they've really, really appreciated it.
And I think
There's a-
that's, oh, I'm sorry, Kari, go ahead.
All right, well, there's a question in here about what the research says is the best incentives to use. And one of the things I'm looking at the PDF that was dropped in the chat earlier, which is sort of a guidance document on incentives. And one of the findings from the research is that group incentives may be more effective than individual ones. Group rewards to the classroom and school-wide incentives can be more effective, encourage peer accountability and a sense of belonging. And Johns Hopkins University found that positive peer pressure led to improved attendance. So that was one. Non-material and intrinsic motivators work best. This came from a study from Attendance Works in 2020, and the links in that PDF. Helping students to see the value of school tends to have a more lasting impact than external rewards. So I hope that's helpful.
So we also have a lot of great comments too in the Slido, and we'll be able to access those following the session too. But some things that I noticed were some questions about funding, which I think we've talked about a little, and we have some districts that are going to share their current practices. So I think some of the questions and considerations will be integrated into the discussion as we move forward. But what I like is that I'm seeing kind of that recognition, the free and low cost incentives. I did notice a comment on for older students, you know, what does that look like? And my experience has been, and perhaps others will talk about it as well, but privilege seems to be more preferred, or might be an option rather than a tangible. And if peers are included in that, that tends to have a big impact as well. But lots of great comments here as we were having discussion. So we'll be sure to share out some themes as well. Kari, did I miss anything?
So I think, you know, there are some situations, the question or the comment about travel to home countries, that's not something that incentives is going to change because the students aren't making those decisions, the parents and families are. And if you look at your data and the percentage of students that are doing that, you're going to find that it's pretty low. I know it seems like a lot, but we've looked at the data and it's not really as impactful. So let's focus on the kids that we can make a difference with. And I'm excited to hear about it from our experts. So I'll turn it over to Lisa.
All right, so really just wanted to hand the mic off to our first district presenter from New London. And I didn't know if it was helpful for me to share the slides or if
it's definitely much easier if you share the slide. That would be great.
Oh, you got it. You got it. All right, you just tell me when to move ahead.
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. My name is Christina Ciato. I'm a school social worker for New London Public Schools. I'm based in the elementary school, so I'm going to be going over some of the incentives that we utilize here in our building. Next slide. So we utilize kind of like this 3-tier attendance team model, which I'm sure everyone is very familiar with. We have our district level team, our building level teams, and then we also have a team of family engagement, which includes our LEAP workers. And we have a family engagement coordinator that is based out of all buildings. So that's just kind of what helps us utilize these interventions at a widespread level. Next slide. And even though I know we're talking about incentives here, this is just a little example that I felt like was relevant at how we look at our data to determine our incentives. We really break it down into a multitude of ways, which helps us kind of determine what incentives might be needed each month or at specific schools or for specific students. So we look at it from the MLL lens, the special ed lens, and then month to month as well. Next slide. So one of our first kind of district-wide initiatives that we've been really working hard on is our family engagement and building connections with our families. So we have implemented a birth to 8 family engagement, the monthly events. Each month they're themed. There are community resources that are in attendance. We have free like a diaper raffle that gives away free diapers. We have a lady who comes and donates books every time that are themed with this particular event was around space. So all the books that she provided to families were space themed. We have a free dinner. There are activities for students to engage in, information for parents, and they've been really successful. We seem to be getting more families every time, but it's just a great way for families to kind of engage with their school in a positive light and connect with resources that they might need, or just have a good time and have a free dinner. And it's really wonderful. At the end of each event, there's a free raffle with prizes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Of course, there's an announcement during the presentation. Okay, of course that happens. And then our next one, we also have MLL specific events that we've had a huge influx of newcomers to our district. So it's a great way to connect them to our district and our schools to make it feel like a safe and engaging place. Next slide. Next one. So these are some of the specific interventions. We have implemented what we call here an attendance protocol. So we've tiered it out every time a student hits these number of absences over on the chart on the right. And they kind of increase in intervention as we go along. So at 2 absences, all homeroom teachers receive a report and it's highlighted of what they might need to do or what someone else might need to do based on that student's absence. So at 2 absences, we ask that the homeroom teacher makes a phone call home. Any phone call that the teacher is making is positive in nature. So it's not punitive. It's always just kind of building that connection, letting that family know that regardless of the reason for the absence, we miss them when they're not here and we look forward to their return. At 4, we ask that the specials teachers or the MLL teacher makes a phone call, again, just kind of continuing that connection with the family, letting them know that they're missed when they're not here. And then the same thing with 6 absences. The teacher will handwrite an individualized postcard to the student and mail it out. So 2 through 6 are all about building connections with the student and the family. And then 8, a social worker or an admin might make a phone call to kind of just inquire what might be going on. Do they need any help? And at 10 absences, we hold an attendance meeting or a home visit. So 8 and above are a little bit more intensive and individualized, but again, they're never punitive. It's always just kind of seeking reason and what we might be able to do to help them. Next slide. So these are some of our school-wide interventions. We have monthly themed posters that all classrooms get so that they can track their perfect attendance. They can win a non-tangible prize, so everyone also gets a prize board. We chose 5 perfect days because we wanted to make it attainable for classrooms and to make sure that everyone has a chance to kind of win one of these things to be incentivized by. These are on the right, all the non-tangibles that the classes had voted on of what they would like to see as prizes. So then the class, once they hit their 5, they get to choose and take a class vote and pick one of the non-tangible items. So it helps build the classroom community and accountability, and then working together to kind of choose a prize for efficient implementation and making sure that the goal is attainable. Once a classroom might hit a couple of these, 2 or 3 months in a row, we might increase it to 7 or to 10 to kind of make that goal increasing, but also still reachable. Next slide. So these are another one of our options. We have these pop-up dance parties for a class that might have the best attendance. So it's not necessarily perfect, but this classroom had the best attendance in December. So they won a winter themed dance party in our gym. So they come down. The teacher actually gets a free break during that time. So we take the students so that the teacher gets time in their classrooms or just time to themselves. And then we supervise the children so that they can have fun together as a classroom and celebrate their accomplishment. As the weather gets warmer, we might hold this outside or provide special treats as well for the class. Next slide, please. Another one of our school-wide interventions are, we kind of choose the month. So February, we knew was going to be a rough month. January was rough, and last year, February was a rough month. So we chose 2nd and 3rd grade because they had our highest absentee percentage, and they competed against one another. So the best 2nd or 3rd grade classroom won a hot cocoa party every Friday for the month of February. The children really looked forward to this. So if they didn't get it the first week of February, it was coming again the next Friday. And it was just kind of a nice time for them to celebrate them having the best attendance. And again, this one wasn't perfect attendance. It was just out of 2nd and 3rd grade, this classroom had the best attendance that week. And so they won their hot cocoa party. Next slide, please. And then we are doing our March Madness right now. So I know that's a popular themed one, but the kids really get into it. We have kind of upped it over recent years. So we've made some like introduction videos where we use the AI voice of Snoop Dogg to introduce the contest. So the kids think some celebrity is like really invested in their attendance at school and competing against one another. We hang a giant bracket in front of the cafeteria. This image is posters that we hang up a couple of weeks before March comes so that students know it's coming and can prepare. They get really excited about it. And every time at the end of the week, we introduce a new video to let the school know who the winners are. So it feels like a live broadcast, just like they have March Madness on TV. So we try to emulate that with attendance, and it seems to work really well. And at the end, the classroom who wins actually wins a party for their entire grade. So that way, if your class is out of the competition, you don't kind of lose hope or lose steam. Your class can win the party for your entire grade level. So it kind of increases that buy-in for students and incentivizes everyone to continue to come to school. Next slide, please. This was just an example of the video. I don't know if you want to we don't have to watch the whole thing, but this is just the introduction video. So we add the graphics, the students' classes are announced in it. We use Snoop Dogg's voice just because that's something that the kids are interested in and kind of gets their attention. So it's not just my voice on all the attendance videos and they get tired of hearing Miss Seattle talk about attendance. But yeah, so this is just an example. You can go to the next slide. And then our tier 2 interventions is our attendance club. So this is really all, again, about building connections with a mentor or a check-in person in the building. So these are students who have historically been chronic will join our attendance club. They get monthly themed calendars that are hung in our offices. So every single day that they're here, they come, they check in with us. They get to cross off their day. We try to set an attainable goal. So I'll never set a student who used to be chronic to be perfect, right? So we might talk together about what might be an achievable goal. If they missed 5 days last month, we're going to try really hard to miss 4 days this month. And if they reach their goal, they can choose either from our prize cart, or they can choose a non-tangible item like free time or extra recess or a lunch bunch with a friend. But it's really all about kind of building that connection with students. So this used to just be our social workers, but now we've asked the staff to volunteer if they would like to host an attendance club. And a lot of homeroom teachers have joined in, or if that student has a connection with another adult in the building. So we have a lot of buy-in right now since we've been doing it for a couple of years. So we probably have about 10 staff right now who are running attendance clubs, either in their classroom or their office. And it's just really wonderful to build that rapport with that trusted adult. We also connected with our local college. So we have Conn College is right next door to our school building. So we get student volunteers who come in, and some of them run attendance clubs and have weekly check-ins with their students. And so that's really wonderful because it kind of builds that connection with, someone younger who's not just an adult in the building, but also someone who is pursuing, a post-high school career into college. So it's introducing that idea to students as well, if it's something that they would be into, or just having, a role model to look up to and connect with in the building. Next slide, please. So how we celebrate the accomplishments, every month we check to see if a student improved. If they improved, they receive a certificate and a school t-shirt. So it started as students who were just chronic, and then may have gotten themselves off the chronic list month to month, or if they had a really poor attendance month in September and they improved in October, we're going to recognize that. So every single month, at the end of the month, the social workers kind of take a look at the data and see what students might have improved. We also acknowledge our attendance club students if they have greatly improved over the month. And we also send a certificate or a note home to parents to inform them that, we're grateful for all their hard work and we want to recognize, this positive month that they have. We also reach out to local restaurants to receive like gift certificates or promotions, and we give them to families who might have a great month for attendance or who have improved. Because obviously, as we all know, that attendance is a family buy-in, and so we want to reward the family as well for their efforts. Next slide, please. That's it.
Great, thank you so much. I would stop for questions, but we do have three other other presenters, so I want to be mindful of time. But my hope is that we can kind of remain connected, and you'll have access to the slides that Christina prepared for us. So you can go back and kind of look at some of the great work that's being done in New London. Latasha, would you like me to share your slides? Yes? Okay.
Good morning. Yes, if you could share, that'd be great. I have double screens, so if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But good morning, everyone. And again, looking at the time, I'm gonna unfortunately swing through because there's two other people behind me. So my name is Latasha Easterling Turnquest. I'm the Chief of Family Partnership and Student Engagement for Manchester Public Schools, as well as a 30-year resident of Manchester. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to talk about 4 points for low cost, no cost incentives. Leverage your community partners, use tier 1 strategies, make it fun, and show appreciation. Kari said some things. I'm like, is Kari peeking at my presentation? But yes, next slide, please. So the first one, oh, my picture didn't come up. There should be like 2 more pictures. Nope, go back. Okay. Can we switch an iShare, Alyssa? Okay, thank you.
Can I just break in for a quick second while we transition? Erica and Kenneth, I think you're the next 2 presenters, and I hear Latasha rushing. and to be with empathy. Do you think we could postpone one or two of you to next Talk Tuesday so that we can fully hear what everyone else has to say? So Latasha doesn't have to rush. Is that okay with you? I'd rather like give you guys the time and give people time to ask questions and do that, and so we are not all feeling rushed. How's
Just got
that?
the thumbs up from Erica.
All right, and Kenneth, I see Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth.
Kenneth too. Yep.
So I hope everybody's okay with that. So Latasha, take a deep breath and
Okay. Alyssa, am I ready to share? And I'm looking for all right. Let's
It
see.
should be, you should be able to, but let me just make sure the sharing options allow you to.
Okay. Am I sharing right now?
See.
It
Yep,
says
I
I'm
see it.
screen Okay. We already went through my name, right? You guys know who I am. I already did the low cost, no cost incentives. You guys can see that? Okay, great. Okay, can you see the pictures now? There should be 3 pictures. Okay, awesome. So leverage your community partners. We have over 40 community partners. And again, because I didn't want to take up time in telling you about all of them and how they contribute, I just picked up, I just pointed out 3 of them. So UConn would offer us free tickets to football games, basketball games, soccer games. And we were always like, we'll take them. Some were on Wednesday afternoons, evenings, Sundays, we'll take them. And what we did was we used them to incentivize our families. And we would say, unfortunately, we can't provide transportation, but you guys can get, tickets to a free UConn game. And they, in this picture, my LEAP visitors, Destiny Arroyo, who's also a LEAP coach, and Selena Santos, they got on the Jumbotron with 2 of our kiddos, and they were able to have free pizza. So we leveraged our tickets from UConn in that way. ShopRite of Manchester is amazing. Anytime I ask, they deliver, and they'll provide us with $25 increment gift cards. And we'll use those gift cards for popsicles, donut holes, little yogurt parfaits, as just an incentive for the classroom to earn an extra recess. And I believe my colleague a couple minutes ago in New London was saying how they utilize the same things, little sweet treats, extra recess. This big picture is super important. Again, Destiny Arroyo saw Second Cup of Coffee, and she kind of put an attendance spin on it and went to an apartment complex in our district and waited at the bus stop. And they set up a table. We had Dunkin' Donuts. We have donut holes. We have banana breads. There's coffee. There's hot cocoa. And then if you look at the table, I'm not sure if you can see it because the picture is kind of small, but there's attendance information on the table. But more importantly, so Squire Village, the reach for that is both Keeney Elementary School and Verplank Elementary School. Both principals are in the picture. Both assistant principals are in the picture. LEAP home visitors from both schools are in the picture, as well as other LEAP home visitors just coming to support and help. Social workers are in the picture. And Manchester Police Department shows up just as a community partner to say, hey, again, I had a ton more pictures, but because I knew I had a short amount of time, I only wanted to provide you guys with pictures that I thought would capture what I was trying to explain. So again, we leveraged UConn, ShopRite of Manchester, the manager of the Squire Village apartment complex who allowed us to do this, and Manchester Police Department. Also using tier 1 strategies. So again, as my colleague said from New London, March is the longest month of the year. But actually now we have a holiday called Eid al-Fitr that we celebrate, and Eid kind of bounces around the calendar, but it is in March. But March is very much a long month for us. So we do March Madness as well. The student engagement specialists, LEAP home visitors have brackets up. Also, but I wanted to show you these because these are like very impactful. The attendance varies. So once again, that's Destiny, and all she does is visit classrooms. No one knows when. No one knows anything other than she pops in and she just says hello. She'll have little trinkets, little tchotchkes to provide. Spirit weeks are huge. Kids love them. There's Heritage Day, Hat Day, Wacky Tacky Day, PJ Comfy Day, and teachers honestly love Spirit Weeks as well. This one on the bottom is another Leap Home visitor, the mascot of Highland Park Elementary, and the mascot just visits the classroom. You don't know when he's coming. All you know is that in another couple days or within the next few weeks, the mascot is going to come and visit. And again, Kari said it earlier, make it fun. We have attend dances. So usually it is the grade with the highest level of, the lowest, I'm sorry, the lowest CA rate, which they will win an attendance. And it's a lot of preparation. Low cost, no cost. However, if you do have funding, it's nothing to kind of buy some little treats or see, again, leveraging your community partners, seeing what you can get donated. I'll play you the video in a second, but I want to show you about the golden ticket. So the golden ticket started out as just a yellow sticky note. You put it under a random desk, and then for morning announcements, you say, okay, everyone look under your chairs. It's golden ticket day, and the kids go nuts. So everyone's looking under their chair, and the kid's like, I got the golden ticket. And then they come down to the main office or to the Family Resource Center to get a tchotchke or take a picture. So these golden ticket winners are super excited. And if you look closely, they're holding the Schools Better With You sticker from LEAP. And they were like super excited, along with, I think there's like some science bubbles and things like that. But that's something that's done in every elementary school. This was something I had done. You can provide lunch with someone special. This was iced tea with Mrs. T. And again, we had gotten iced tea donated. So I just came in during kids' lunchtime. There's a lot more students there. But just being able to sit and chat with them during their lunchtime, and they really, really enjoyed it. So now I'm going to show you just a quick video, I think it's like 40 seconds, of an attend dance. You guys can see it okay so far? Awesome. So yes, that was third grade. They won an attendance. And I don't know if you saw the attendance battle at the end with the adult and the student, but that was the student engagement specialist, the Leap Home visitor, who was playing DJ, who had a dance battle with one of the students. And the last thing I want to share, well, second to the last thing I want to share, is to show appreciation. It really costs nothing to say thank you. It takes a lot sometimes for our families, because my primary focus is elementary, but I do have staff at the high school. It takes a lot for our families sometimes with lifing, as the kids say, to get up and get their kiddos ready for school and go to work. There's a lot of barriers out there. So again, I wanted to show appreciation to our families, and I did it with a video. And again, it's about 40, 45 seconds.
I had a hard time hearing the sound that for the last one, so I wonder if
Oh no. Okay, let me see if I can fix that.
you might have to stop and reshare.
Okay,
There's like a button to play sound.
where do I see that? Play sound. Okay, stop. And where's the
If
reshare?
you stop share,
Oh, stop sharing. Okay, yes.
and then if you click the share again on the underneath
Mhm.
the layouts, there's an
Share
option to share
sound.
sound. Yeah.
All right. What time is it? Ooh. Okay. Got you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Latasha Easterling Turnquest, and I want to take a moment to thank you, our families, for your commitment to student success. Every single day, you make a difference by ensuring your child comes to school, and because of that, our attendance rates are improving.
We know winter brings challenges. Kids get sick and life happens. But what matters most is communication. When you keep us informed, we can support your child's learning journey together.
We see your efforts and we appreciate you. Let's continue this journey together, one day at a time, one student at a time. Thank you for being our partner in education.
Were you able to hear at that time? Oh, great. So that is all I have as far as my presentation goes. Someone I know did ask a question about the high schoolers and some things we did, but this was not low cost, no cost. This was a grant that my superintendent had. We provided special breakfast like bacon, eggs, French toast, pancakes, and served them breakfast. They love that. And my staff up there kind of asked the kids, what would you like if we had incentives? They were like perfume, AirPods, Beats, NBA hoodies, NBA blankets, and guess what we ordered? Everything they asked for, because again, we had a grant and funding, and it has been amazing. Another thing we've done for high schoolers are punch cards, and we do it in small increments, right? If you come these 5 days and you get this punched, I'll enter your name into a raffle. So those types of things. And for families, we do Amazon gift card raffles, restaurant gift cards. We provide special breakfast, lunch, and dinners where families can come in, and it's just, again, an appreciation. So I'm going to stop talking and pass it back to Alyssa so she can have my next colleague come on board. And thank you so much for your time and for listening.
Thank you so much. Looking at the time and wanting to honor everybody's busy schedules, if it's okay, Erica and Kenneth, if you're willing to come for next time, we would love to just give you the time to share. And I thought it might be a good idea just to open for any questions or comments for our first two presenters, and then we'll close up with our next schedule of next meetings and wrap up for today. But just wanted to offer some space for any questions and comments. We have a ton of thank yous in the chat and appreciation and flowers to our presenters. But just wanted to give a moment if anybody wanted to speak into the space or share in the chat.
One, I just wanted to say thank you all of you for putting on this resource session for all of us. I know that there's a few different attendance sessions throughout the month. I guess my question is, are they all different with different resources, or is it a repeat? Just trying to see if it's beneficial for my team and I to join the next one.
Are you talking about Talk Tuesday specifically? Yes. So Talk Tuesday has a different presenter, different content every time. The slides and resources are shared following the sessions. But we really welcome the opportunity to kind of connect and network with different professionals that are doing the same work, because I think, honoring the expertise and the great things that are happening in districts is part of what makes Talk Tuesdays and this community of practice a special opportunity. I do want to just make sure, Kari and Jay, if I explained that well, or if I missed anything there.
I just wanted to add that Tuesdays, there's also a web page, and we post, sometimes they're not as timely as we'd like to be because life gets busy, but we post the recordings and the slides there. So you're welcome to visit Talks Tuesday's webpage. I put it in the chat, and so that would be really helpful. So yeah, it's every other Tuesday. So unless it's like, I think in April we're missing one because of April vacations, but join us. We'd love that.
And I will share the schedule of the next meetings just on that queue. Our next meeting is April 1st, and then the 29th, 13th, and 27th will be our last one for the school year. And then they'll start up again in fall 2025.
And then I'm just adding my email if anybody has questions on registration. because we do ask everybody to register. Don't share out Zoom links. Share the registration link instead. And also, I'm so sorry about today's Zoom link. I just wanted to add, but I appreciate every single one of you for joining real quick and bearing with me as I maneuvered through whatever happened today. I still haven't figured it out, but thank you all.
You recovered so well. Everybody made it to where they needed to be. Thank you, Holly. Thank
thank
you,
goodness.
Lisa, and our presenters today. I think this was one of the top 5 Tuesdays, so we're good. Thank you so much.
Yep. All of our contact information is there. I am usually not a part of Talk Tuesdays. I just stepped in for Christine while she's out today, and she'll be back next time. Thank you to our presenters, Takari and Jay, Erica and Kenneth. We appreciate your flexibility as well, and welcome the opportunity to hear. I took a peek at some of the slides and things that I've seen, and it's going to be a great session when we give you that time to kind of showcase your great work. But yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you so much.